Greetings and welcome, and thanks for joining us in this synchronistic moment to fly high with synchronicity. Again, it's Harold Cosby, the world changer, coded as the blue overtone storm. And I have a synchronistic moment to share with you. Before we do, I just want to go through the Declaration of Remembrance, which is to engage the daily practices that will assist us in effectively identifying, developing, and accessing the energies of the seven mental spheres in order to experience our realities through radio perception. As a result, we'll be able to harmonize with the synchronicities from the law of time, space, and ultimately continue the development of the fourth dimensional telepathic communication medium, the noosphere. All right. And this is a part of the SOAR report that I'm going to explain using my own personal SOAR report. And so the purpose statement for the SOAR is to provide a mind map that displays the cycles of evolution, beginning with the point in space from our incarnation up to the current cycle on the path of destiny. As a result, we can foresee and foretell the upcoming cycles in order to allow synchronicity to work on our behold. Ashe. And so right now we're in the 13-day cycle, the 13-day wave spell of the mirror. And we're in the 11th day of that 13-day cycle. And so today displays the yellow spectral star, which is kin number 128. The signature of the day reads as follows: I dissolve in order to beautify, releasing art. I seal the store of elegance with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by the store of elegance, my own power doubled. And I repeat this 3 times to lock it into the cosmos and into our being. I dissolve in order to beautify, releasing art. I seal the store of elegance with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by the store of elegance, my own power doubled. I dissolve in order to beautify, releasing art. I seal the store of elegance with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by the store of elegance, my own power doubled. Ashe. And so what does that mean for us today in this synchronistic moment that I want to share with you? Well, since it's the mirror wave spell, we do a lot of reflecting. And we reflect in order to remember. And we remember in order to cut away the behaviors, the thought process, and the cycles that are not supporting us in the next stage that we're going to go through. And so with that being said, today is a very important day or plasma for me, as the yellow spectral star is ending a year cycle for me from 2017. So tomorrow is my solar return, i.e. birthday, where I move into a whole new cycle in my individual journey of remembrance. Okay? And so I looked at this dawning and I said, wow, this is incredible. And I said, I should share this with those who desire to feel and see this energy from this plasma, where they can experience some of what I'm talking about or gain a better understanding of these cycles and how being able to foresee and foretell the cycles, how we can prepare our being to evolve. Okay? And so with this spectral star deals with dissolving. So what do I need to dissolve? What do I need to release? Okay? In order to seal the store of elegance. And that's what the star represents. All right? But as I seal the store of elegance, then I actually can be liberated through the spectral tone of liberation. Okay, freed. Okay, now freed to move into the next cycle. All right, so just what I'm saying here for a moment. So the cycle that I just came out of was kin number 24, and this is a annual wave spell. So I showed you the 13-day wave spell, but this is the annual wave spell of the cycles that I go through each and every year through the different archetypes in my earth family. Okay, so just last year in 2017, you can see this was year 45 on my journey, right? The yellow spectral seed. Well, today is the yellow spectral star. So this yellow spectral seed cycle ends. I dissolve in order to target, releasing awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by the input of flowering, my own power doubled. That was the cycle that I just came out of. And today is the spectral star. So I'm transitioning from a seed to a star to move into the next cycle where the red crystal moon cycle begins tomorrow for me. And that deals with universalization, but purification and flow through universalization. Okay? And so when these are mapped out, now we do these in the SOAR report. So for the whole next 364 days plus 1 day out of time, I, the world changer, will now be evolving through the red crystal moon. And so there's some attributes of the moon, and the moon poses a challenge. It's in my challenge position on the destiny cross. Okay, which means that the challenge is to remember. All right, so I want to show you something that as we do our synchronicity session, for those of you that haven't scheduled it yet, and some of you may be getting the report. Okay, when you do, after you go through the report, we do a synchronicity session where I explain this to you so you can prepare and move and align yourself with the divine will that this displays. It's powerful. Okay, so now we're in the crystal moon year. Now, as far as the pulsar, now, what we call the sense dimension, the second dimensional sense lens. All right, and so this deals with our senses and our emotions. Okay, so I was in the 11th tone. Tones 3, 7, and 11 deal with the senses and how we need to transmute and transform our senses to move into the next tone of the pulsar, the next dimension of the pulsar, which is the mind. So here is the last day of my sensory experience with the seed. That's what the seed was helping me do. It was helping me dissolve emotions and senses that were causing me to revolve into that feedback loop. So I had to pay perfect attention. I had a lot of emotions going on, or incidences where my emotions were evoked, and I was forced to, because I had this knowledge to deal with those emotions if I wanted to evolve out of them. Okay, so now, as of today, I'm moving into the next cycle. So as of tomorrow, I'll be at my 46th year of this process, right? And I will be initiating into the red cosmic moon, red crystal moon, I should say, and that begins tomorrow. Now let's just look at what stars are saying so that you understand. So here's the yellow spectral seed in tone 11 is the spectral frequency of the power of dissolving. So there is a tone 3 that deals with the electric frequency of bonding. There's tone 7 that deals with the resonant frequency of attunement. But I was in the sensory lens of the second dimension dealing with the spectral frequency of dissolving and resolving. And so let me just tell you what the sum of these bring so that you may get an idea. The cube of time space matrix become the arc of cosmic evolution, realized as sensory spectrum of the galactic order of being. So this is helping to shift my senses into galactic being. Not a human doer or doing, but a galactic being. And that means I have to have a sense, or I have to have insight or vision to see things perceptually as the galactic whole. Okay? And today is a third eye chakra day to help with that vision as well. So this is powerful. The spectral frequency power of dissolving is the cycle that I'm ending through the seed. All right. So now I'll be moving into tone number 12 in this wave spell that I showed you, the annual wave spell, with the crystal frequency power of universalization. So look at the process. I dissolved and took care of my senses and my emotions with myself. So now I can cooperate. See, the 12th tone brings dedication, universalization, and cooperation. Okay, so by taking care of my own emotions and senses and moving them into the galactic order of being in this past solar cycle, I'm now able to move into the crystal frequency and the power of universalization, because I've been able to remove some of those emotions, any fears, angers that could really spill over into the collective that I'm universalizing a message for. So this is powerful. It really is. And so as I'm going through this and I'm explaining this to myself, now I'm evolving in through a whole different dimension. Okay? And so if you look at what the 3D mind pulsar does, so I'm moving out of the sensory pulsar of being into the mind pulsar. Let's look at what the mind does. It says stabilizing frequency of the universal polar harmonic establishes velatropa. Well, velatropa is really this sector of the galaxy. In other words, our solar system, Mars, Venus, that's what velatropa is, as a base for generation of the enlightened seed forms of galactic time travel. So those of us who take this information seriously, we're going to become enlightened seed forms and be able to experience galactic time travel. But if we don't have a galactic mind, how are we able to do that? How are we able to be that? So this is stretching us into a new way of being. Okay, and so this is out of my personal SOAR report. For those of you who have the SOAR report, you'll be able to read through this, and we'll be able to go through this in the synchronicity session so we can see what cycles and what dimensions you're moving through and how you need to be viewing what's going on inner and outer part of your being. Okay? That moment. And so what's next? Well, just get your SOAR report. If you already have your SOAR report, schedule your synchronicity session, and let's really get in the trenches on what needs to happen for you to evolve. Many of us get knowledge, but we're revolving around the knowledge because we haven't figured out how to make it practical in many cases. All right, this is going to help that process. So thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to this synchronistic moment. Let's fly high together through universalization and synchronicity, and we'll see you on the next synchronistic moment. In Lakesh Alakim.